Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritanam Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jamudirayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki Om Agna. Reading from 3:20:21. Devastan aha samvigno mam jakshata rakshata aho me yaksha rakshamsi prajayuyam babhuvita. Devastan aha samvigno mam jakshata rakshata aho me yaksha rakshamsi prajayuyam babhuvita. Devastanaha samvigno mam jakshata rakshata aho me yaksha rakshamsi prajayuyam babhuvita. Word to word. Deva, Lord Brahma, Tan, to them, aha, said, samvigna, being anxious, ma, do not, ma, me, jakshata, eat, rakshata, protect, aho, oh, me, my, yaksha rakshamsi, oh, yakshas and rakshasas, praja, sons, yuyam, you, babu vita, were born. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Brahma, the head of the demigods, full of anxiety, asked them, do not eat me, but protect me. You are born from me and have become my sons. Therefore, you are Yakshas and Rakshasas. We repeat. Brahma, the head of the demigods, full of anxiety, asked them, do not eat me, but protect me. You are born from me and have become my sons. Therefore, you are Yakshas and Rakshasas. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The demons who are born from the body of Brahma were called Yakshas and Rakshasas, because some of them cried that Brahma should be eaten and the others cried that he should not be protected. The ones who said that he should be eaten were called Yakshas, and the ones who said that he should not be protected became Rakshasas, man-eaters. The two Yakshas and Rakshasas are the original creation by Brahma and are represented even until today in the uncivilized men who are scattered all over the universe. They are born of the mode of ignorance, and therefore, because of their behavior, they are called Rakshasas or man-eaters. I'll try to understand this verse. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrupatamaham vande Sri Gurum Dyantarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Mancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhu Bhayevacha Paditanam Pavan Bhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Dadati Swapadantikam. Shri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta ki jai. So, we're trying to understand this Canto 3, Chapter 20, verse number 21. Vidura's conversation between Maitreya. This is a secondary creation of Lord Brahma. It's been repeated before, has been explained before. But the context we are in, where it is mentioned about Brahma created ignorance of 5 types by his shadow. Tama, Moha, Mahatma, Tamishram, and Andatamishram. So, in creating the Yakshas and Rakshasas, Devas and humans, false identity must arise in Jivas. Without ignorance, this is not possible. So, thus, first the functions of the ignorance appeared on their own through Lord Brahma. Tamas is the original form of ignorance. This is verse number 18. So, Here it is describing how Brahma created them by tamas, which took the form of a shadow. So in succession, tamas, moha, mahamoha, tamishra, and the tamishra are created. Tamas means ignorance, moha means egoism, mahamoha means attachment, tamishra means hatred, tamishra means hatred, and the tamishra means absorption in material pleasure. So now, because this is related to this verse, so that we understand what exactly Lord Brahma giving up this body, what exactly is happening, who are these Yakshas and Rakshasas, where they reside. Then we get into the actual, the real application, what it means for us. So further the context. Not satisfied with his body, which became the full of ignorance, Brahma gave up that body. This body transformed into night, which gives rise to hunger and thirst. Yakshas and Rakshasas respected the night, where our acharyas explain, Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, he was not pleased with the shadow body. I have been covered with ignorance at the beginning of creation. Criticizing himself, he gave up that body. That rejected body became night. The demons who had arisen from Brahma at that time accepted the night. This means that avidya, adharma, avarana, and vikshepa are superior to the Yakshas and Rakshasas. Then Brahma gave up that body which produced hunger and thirst. Shruti says, Sa Tamishra Bhavat. These Yakshas and Rakshasas are produced from this, one of the, out of 5 types of ignorance, Tamishra. They are produced from Tamishra. That became Tamishra. When it says that Brahma gave up his body, it means that he gave the mentality of that body. Since mentality of that body, since Brahma lives for 100 years, the sequence is follows. First tamas arose, then anger, and the rest. The mentality arising from tamas appeared in the mind of Brahma. From that, Yakshas and Rakshasas appeared. That mentality of tamas, when Brahma rejected it, then became the night. The Yakshas and Rakshasas accepted it. Though Brahma accepted and rejects different bodies by his power of yoga to carry out creation, this does not disrupt his life of 100 years. Some also say that even the devatas like Indra accept and reject bodies for material enjoyment. So this is what we can understand. Brahma giving up this body means this is more a mentality of the subtle body. So as per Lord Indra and Lord Brahma has much more capability and the powers to do those things. So that further the verse number 20 is telling the Yakshas and Rakshasas being afflicted with hunger and thirst pursued Brahma to devour him. Pained by hunger and thirst, they said, do not protect him or eat him rather. So that's where we are in. So basically in this verse, and Prabhupada is talking about the purport about this ignorance, how even in today's world we see this. So especially the instruction from here is, what is Brahma doing? Lord Brahma he has given up this body. That means he is trying to change the course of his action. Our year has passed. Yesterday we were discussing, almost ending. Today is the last day of Srimad Bhagavatam class. From our daily classes will start in next year. What does that mean? We have to reflect. One is how to rectify this mode of ignorance we have in our heart and mind and senses everywhere. Evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhya atmanam atmana jahi satru mahabaho kamarup durasaram. Yesterday we discussed. So this lust is there in each and every pore of body, gross body, subtle body, as per the gross senses, karmendriya, jnanendriya, and then in the mind, intelligence, this real ego became false ego. This is the ignorance, how to purify that. By engaging in devotional activities. We're coming to that. And at the same time, we have to reflect on, we have to be ready to make the change. We have to accept the change. Most of the times, we don't like to make the change. We don't want to listen from anybody. What we try to do is we want to please our own thoughts, our own senses, our own body, our own mind. We don't want to look at what pleases the Supreme Lord, what pleases Guru, what pleases the authority. This is what is the main important instruction here, Lord Brahma, understanding that yes, this action is not going to work. Yes, yes, that is also another instruction is Brahma is ready to take responsibility, even though he had to create these personalities, Yakshas, Rakshasas, different lower species. One who perform the mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. He has to do that secondary creation. He has to give all these different bodies to these different living entities. He has no choice because that is the responsibility has been given. So I don't like to do. No, that is not a question. So that's a Lord Brahma's position is very, very difficult task. Authority. Sometimes we will be put into difficult tasks in the office or temple or outside in community, whatever work we may be doing. So we should be ready to take the responsibility, but take the responsibility and act under the guidance of authority, under the guidance of spiritual master, and we should act in such a way that we should please them, please the spiritual master. Spiritual master and supreme Lord should be the first and foremost priority to please. If they are not pleased, then no point, however service, however long we may do, however number of years we may experience, it's not going to really helpful in transforming our consciousness. So this is the first and foremost, very important instruction rather. For next year, when we begin, we have to ready to change. Even if some junior is giving some indication that this is not the right way to do, then we should be ready to listen. Otherwise, no point, no transformation. We will go on with our false ego, the same mindset. This is not good at all for our progress of Krishna consciousness. This is the first and foremost principle we are learning from Lord Brahma, that how to make this change in the course of action. This is the from the negative side, bringing to the positive side. Anybody giving instructions for that matter, even an ordinary person may be giving, but if it is going to help in devotional service, we should try to accept it. As Srila Prabhupada has taken the doctor, this person is crazy fellow, he's too much praying, he is not walking, he's no exercise, he should walk. No one else took that seriously, but Srila Prabhupada, next day onwards, he went for morning walk. So all his life he went for morning walk. So he has taken, this is positive instruction. It's going to help me in Krishna consciousness because my body has to be fit in order to serve Krishna. If my body is not fit, then how am I going to serve Krishna? Then Prabhupada took, oh, he's not a devotee. Why is he instructing? No, Prabhupada took it very seriously. So this is what we have to take lesson from Lord Brahma and from our beloved spiritual master, or the founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. We must take these lessons very seriously and apply it in our life. That's why we have to hear from Srila Prabhupada. So then only we can change our course of action. Otherwise, now let's look at how we can conquer this ignorance. First thing is one must take the association of the pure devotees. That is the first one. Before that, let's first understand these Yakshas and Rakshasas. So where they are. So there are some types of living entities in the form of human beings whose living conditions and eatables are most abominable. Generally, they eat flesh and fermented blood, which is mentioned in this verse. Mentioned. The leaders of such degraded men are known as Yakshas, Rakshasas, Bhutas, and Pisachas. All are in mode of ignorance. They have been placed under the control of Rudra. So they are in the Bhuvar Loka. They are in the Bhuloka, in the middle planet. Above was 7 planetary systems are there. So above that is the Bhuvar Loka, and then Swarga Loka, Jana Loka, Tapa Loka, Mahar Loka, Brahma Loka, like that goes on. So between Bhu and Swarga Loka, Bhuvar Loka, within that there is outer space also. That's where these Yakshas and Rakshasas, Bhutas, Pretas, Pisachas are there. They are in a mode of ignorance. That is the place being given. And don't ask me why not lower planet, why they are in the higher than us. So that I can't answer it, but at least we have to understand what Shastra is telling, that that's where they reside. And they eat flesh and fermented blood. And I have seen some of my colleagues in my childhood, they used to eat of this goat and sheep and whatnot, blood also. They didn't leave anything. So it's not astonishing, as Prabhupada is saying, mentioning in the purport, that we see this uncivilized man. So what a question of uncivilized. We are seeing in the, in today's world itself, people are eating this. So So that means this tendencies, this mentality is there, even in the civilized human beings. What can be done? So further it is mentioned where this planet is there. So the sun globe, which is in terms of the hierarchy, the sun planet is there, 10,000 yojanas, 80,000 miles, and then below that is the moon, extends 20,000 yojanas, and then Rahu further down extends 30,000 yojanas. Then below Rahu is the by 10,000 yojanas are the planets known as Siddhaloka, Charanaloka, Vidyadharloka. And beneath that Vidyadharloka, Charanaloka, Siddhaloka, sky is called Antariksha, are the places of enjoyment for the Yakshas and Rakshasas, Pisachas, ghosts, and so on. This Antariksha extends as far as the wind blows and the clouds float in the sky. Below these abodes of the Yakshas and Rakshasas by distance of 100 yojanas, 800 miles, is the planet Earth. Its upper limits extend as high as swans, hawks, eagles, and similar large birds can fly. My dear king, beneath this earth are the 7 other planets known as Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahitala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patal. So in this way, this hierarchy where these living entities, especially the Yakshas and Rakshasas, are placed, and for them also there is a way to liberate. Jiva Goswami explained. When the quality of goodness is prominent, the sages and demigods flourish with the help of quality, in which they are infused with and subcharged by Supreme. Similarly, when the mode of passion is prominent, the demons flourish. When the ignorance is prominent, Yakshas and Rakshasas flourish. Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in everybody's heart, fostering the reactions of Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Guna. Oh, my friends, sons of demons, everyone, including you, Yakshas and Rakshasas, the unintelligent women, Sudras, cohort men, birds, lower animals, simple living entities, can revive his original eternal spiritual life and exist forever simply by accepting the principles of Bhakti Yoga. So that is the instruction we're getting given. Everybody can, that's why one needs the association of the pure devotee of the Lord. Otherwise, there is no possibility to get out from this world. We see from Rahu Gana's example where Lord Bharata Maharaj is explaining, Rahu Gana tapasa na yati na cha ijjaya nirvapanad grahidava na chandasa naiva jalagni suryair vina mahat Rajo Abhishekam. My dear King Rahu Gana, unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of the great devotees, one cannot realize absolute truth. One cannot realize. Simply by observing celibacy, strictly following the rules and regulations of household life, leaving home as vanaprastha, accepting sannyas, or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping oneself submerged in water, or surrounding oneself in summer by fire or scorching heat of sun. There are many other processes to understand the absolute, but the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of the great devotee. That is the first and foremost principle, is to take the association of a bona fide spiritual master. So then one must also remember the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord in order to remove the obstacles. How will we remember? One can only remember of Lord Krishna's lotus feet by regularly hearing. Otherwise, how will you remember? Yasya Sriyam Eva Parishrama Paro Varnashrama Achara Tapas Sutadish Avismruti Sridhara Pada Padmayo Gunanuvada Sravana Adar Ardhabihi Aradhabihi. The great endeavor one undergoes in executing ordinary social religious duties of the Varnashrama system, in performing austerities and hearing from Vedas, culminate only in the achievement of mundane fame and opulence. But by respecting and attentively hearing the recitation of the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord, the husband of Goddess of Fortune, one can remember his lotus feet. So that's why Tannam Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Anusmrutyo Tistan Brajeta Danuragi Jananugami Kalam Yed Upadesasaram. So unless we hear attentively, regularly in the association of devotees, then only we can remember. By remembering the lotus feet, Avismriti Krishna Padaravindayo Kshinoti Abhadrani cha Samtanoti Satvasya Suddhim Paramatma Bhaktim Jnanam cha Vijnana Viraga Yuktam. Remembrance of Lord Krishna's lotus feet destroys everything inauspicious and awards the greatest good fortune. It purifies the heart and bestows devotion for the Supreme Soul, along with knowledge enriched with realization and renunciation. Otherwise, it is not possible. So that's why it is a very important instruction to hear regularly, not miss a single class. So then we can purify ourselves. Otherwise, there is no possibility of purifying. And then the chanting of the holy name with attentive chanting of the holy name every day. Nama Sankirtanamasti Sarva Papa Pranasanam Pranamo Dukka Samanas Tannamami Harim Param. The last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. And further continues in Canto 5, we see that if one who is embarrassed by hunger, one who falls down or stumbles or chants the holy name of the Lord even once, willingly or unwillingly, he is immediately freed from the reactions of his past deeds. Karma is entangled in material activities, face many difficulties in the practice of mystic yoga, and others endeavor to achieve this same freedom. Where Prabhupada quotes big purport of glories of the holy name from Haridas Thakur explaining. This is in Canto 5, chapter 24, verse number 20. Prabhupada Yasya hi vavakshut patana praskandana adishu viswasa sakran nama avigranan purusha karma bandhanam anjasa vidunoti yasya haiva pratibhadanam mumukshavo anyata Vopa Ubalabante. So further, where Chaitanya Charitamrita is Prabhupada is quoting Haridas Thakur. Keha bale nama haite haya papakshaya. Keha bale nama haite jivera mokshaya. Some say that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is freed from all reactions of sinful life. Others say that by chanting of the holy name of the Lord, one attains liberation from material bondage. Now Haridas Thakur is giving the answer. Haridas kahera namera yei dui falanaya namera fale Krishna pade prema upajaya. However, the desired result of chanting the holy name of the Lord is not that one is liberated from material bondage or freed from reactions of sinful life. The actual result of chanting the holy name of the Lord is that one awakens his dormant Krishna consciousness, his loving service to the Lord. So what do we need to do? We have to make the change in the course of our actions. So that means we have to make the whole day or whole week plan in such a way that our attentive chanting is not being affected by any other thing, period. So that means we have to plan ahead of the time. Make sure our time is fixed, waking up time in the morning to finish our rounds, quality rounds, attentive rounds. That means any obligation, responsibility we have, we should finish those duties. We should put reminder no matter what, this is what I have to do. That's it. This must be done. This is what Prabhupada is instructing, and I must do at any cost. So then we can chant. Otherwise, if there is no proper planning, then we can't chant. One day we will wake up, another day we sleep, and we'll do some other responsibility things, but not the chanting. So that's why we have to take this very carefully. Anusanga palak namera mukti pada nas tahara drustanta eche suryer prakash. Haridas Thakur said that liberation and freedom from the reactions of sinful activities are only byproducts of chanting of the holy name of the Lord. If one chants the holy name of the Lord purely, he attains the platform of loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this regard, Haridas Thakur gives an example of comparing the power of the holy name to sunshine. Ei sloker ardha kare panditera gana sabha kahe tumi kaha ardha vivarana. He placed a verse before all the learned scholars present, but the learned scholars asked him to state the purport of the verse. Haridas kahena eche suryera udaya na haite arambe tamera haya kshaya. Haridas Thakur said that the sun begins to rise, it dissipates the darkness of the night, even before the sunshine is visible. Chaura preta rakshasa adira baya haya nas udaya haile dharma karma adi prakash. Before the sunrise even takes place, the light of the dawn destroys the fear of the dangers of the night, such as disturbances by thieves, ghosts, and rakshasas. When the sunshine actually appears, one engages in his duties. Wow, perfect. Exactly going with the verse. Aiche nama udaya arambe papa adi rakshaya udaya kaile Krishna pade haya premodaya. Similarly, even before one's chanting of the holy name is pure, one is freed from all sinful reactions. And when he chants the purely, he becomes a lover of Krishna. Mukti tucha phala haya nama abhas haite. Yei mukti Bhakta na laya sei Krishna chahe dite. A devotee never accepts mukti. Even if Krishna offers it mukti, freedom from all sinful reactions, is obtained even by Nam Abbas, or glimpse of the light of the holy name before its full light is perfectly visible. The Nam Abbas stage is the between that of Nam Aparad, or chanting the holy name with offenses, and pure chanting. There are 3 stages in chanting the holy name of the Lord. In first stage, one commits 10 kinds of offenses while chanting. In next stage, Nam Abbas, the offenses have almost stopped and one is coming to the platform of pure chanting. In the third stage, when one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra without offenses, his dormant love for Krishna immediately awakens. This is the perfection. So this is the most important verse. Prabhupada is mentioning a detailed purport of quoting Haridas Thakur. So that's why we must take this chanting of the holy name. Sankirtyam va parihasam va stovanam helanam eva va vaikunta nama grahanam asesha agaharam vidu. One who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from the reactions of unlimited sins. Even if he chants indirectly, jokingly, for musical entertainment, or even neglectfully, this is accepted by all learned scholars of the scriptures. So that's why one must take this chanting of the holy name as a life and soul, and take it seriously. So otherwise, any other methods we may take, austerity or charity, whatever, different kinds of atonement, still is not going to really remove the desire. As we can see, as it's mentioned in Indra's pastime with killing this Viswarup. First son Viswarup was taken the position of priest after he offended Brahaspati. Then Viswarup has taken the position of the demigod's priest. Then Indra killed him. But then he put those reactions of sinful activity into this water bubbles or women menstrual period, and other 2 things, the tree sap, and one more thing, the 4 things he has put the sinful reactions. Even after doing that, the seed, the proclivity in the heart didn't go away. Then the second time, then he killed, where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is making the commentary on that. That seed in the proclivity is there in the heart. Again made a mistake of killing this Vratrasura, the demon, second, that continued on further. So that's why it is very important. Dehavag buddhijam dhira dharmagna sradhayanvita kshipanti agam mahadapi venugulmam ivanava. To concentrate the mind, one must observe a life of celibacy and not fall down. One must undergo the austerity of voluntarily giving up sense enjoyment. One must then control the mind and senses, giving charity, truthful, clean and non-violent, follow the regulative principles, regularly chant the holy name of the Lord. Thus, a sober and faithful person who knows the religious principles is temporarily purified of all sins performed with his body, words, and mind. These sins are like the dried leaves of creepers beneath the bamboo tree, which may be burned by fire, although their roots remain to grow again at first opportunity. So the proclivity again and again, like this Venugulmam Ivanava as example. So that's why only by pure devotion service we can remove this proclivity in the as a seed or a bija or palon mukha, prarabdha, everything can be burned down by simply taking up the path of pure devotion. So kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva tarayana agam dhunvanti kalse niharam neva bhaskara. So this is the purport of this verse for this next whole year, how to fix it in chanting the holy name of the Lord, hearing regularly without missing a class. So this is the platform. So Prabhupada has given. Let us all take it seriously. Thank you very much. Granraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktam ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Krishna Prabhu. I would like to wish you all a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead and weekend ahead. Last weekend, in fact, last Friday of the year. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. We'll be having program at the temple starting from 6 o'clock. Most welcome to attend the New Year's Eve program with a lot of wonderful Krishna conscious fun activities. There's also Govindas both on Saturday and Sunday. Buffet. So most welcome to attend. And if you need to pre-register. It's also there on our govindasanjay.com. That being said, we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Sinu Shingo, Jaina Shingo, Jai Jaina Shingo, Praladesha, Jaya Padma, Makapadma Bringa, Ugraviram, Mahavishnu, Sarvatomukam, Nashingam, Vishnam, Badram, Nityam, Nrsimha Bhagavan ki Jai, Maharaj ki Jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Assemble Vaishnavas, Vancha, Kalpatarvasya, Sindhu Vacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Vaishnavinda ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Gaur Premanande. Hari 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 Hari.
Thank you, Krsna Namananda.